let's jump right in. Okay. First thing we're gonna do is to fry a little bit of andouille. Alright. I'm adding a little bit of andouille first. Alright. Let it fry a little bit. Okay. As you can see it. There we go. Let it cook. Now let's add our epice. What I like to do is to fry my coconut milk. Okay, you wanna cook the coconut milk. Because you don't want the raw coconut taste in the food, so we're gonna let it saute here a little bit. Yep. Let me add my beans as well. So what I'm trying to do, what I'm doing is to allow also the taste of the coconut milk to get into my beans. Alright. I'm only making 1 cup of cornmeal, so I don't need much beans. Okay, that should do it. So I'm allowing the coconut milk to get into the beans. Now, one thing about the beans I want to show you: when you cook your beans, don't let it cook. Well, don't let it overcook. You see, it has a little resistance to it. See. Don't let it be like mushy, because we're not making a sauce pois, we're making Mayi Moulen, Kole. So because it's gonna continue cooking here, so when you boil the beans, don't let it cook too much, okay? Because it's gonna continue cooking here. All right, so let's allow this coconut to cook a little bit with the beans here. Let it get inside of the beans. Take a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let's leave it alone for now. Maybe 5 minutes. you can smell it too, you know. So now, since I'm going to use one measure, which happened to be 1 cup of cornmeal, I will be using 3 cups of liquid. Now, the water that boils your beans, this is what you're gonna be using, okay? So I'm adding, oops, let me put that down because it's hot. Get my gloves. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna measure 3. Even though there's a little bit of liquid in here, I'm not worried about it. Okay, 2, 3. See, barely 3 because I already have some liquid in there. Okay, that's about it. We're gonna let this boil. Then once it's boiled, we will be adding the cornmeal, which I already washed. Okay, once it's boiled, I'm gonna taste it also for the salt, because I haven't added any salt here because the andouille has salt in it. So I'm gonna wait to taste first. Let me get a bouquet, not a bouquet. Let me get a piment book to put in here. Put a piment book. See, water is already boiling. You see that? Because it was already hot. Look at that. All right. Because that's the water that boiled the beans that I'm using, so it was already hot. So that's why it's already started to boil. Let me taste it. Okay, so what I see here, I don't need anything at all. The salt from that andouille is enough for me. And again, it's to taste, okay? Depending how much salt you like in your food. Alright, so now since it's boiling, I'm adding the washed cornmeal. I mean, guys, this is so simple, man. But normally, usually when people are making Mayi Moulen du Kole à pois, they use the regular size cornmeal. Me, I prefer the fine one. Some people use the big one. It's all about what you like. It doesn't really matter, you know. So you will adjust your water accordingly based on the size, the consistency of your cornmeal. Alright. They say tête maille, wap cuite. Besoin plus d'eau. Okay, so we're just gonna allow it to cook. So you have to stay on top of this to avoid any lump into your cornmeal. Okay, you just stir. Continue to stir it. Okay, there we go. And I have some leftover legume, which I'm gonna be enjoying with this. Okay. I also have a fish sauce left over that I could use with this as well. So choices are endless. Okay. Continue to stir like that. As simple as that. We shall return. Okay. You see? All right. From time to time, you come and you give it a nice stir. You know. And it smells so good because you have your andouille in there and you have your coconut milk. Oh, it smells good. And I'm using pinto beans, by the way. But you can use, some people use black beans with that. And some people use red beans. You do whatever you like. You know, I just have that handy. And I use what I have. Okay? So, at this point, what you want to do is to put a lid on it. Okay? And reduce your heat a little bit. allow it to slowly cook. It's not gonna take a long time because it's a fine consistency. The Mayi Moulen, the cornmeal, okay? It's fine consistency. In no time it's gonna cook, but there's no rush. From time to time, you come and you just give it a little beating. Okay? The Mayi Moulen. Kole. There you go. Isn't that nice? Can't wait. Enjoy this with the legume. Okie dokie. Alright, let's take a final peek. Look at that. You see, when you see the oil, because the corn is gonna produce some oil, see? When you see some oil on top of your corn like that, that means you are ready. It's cooked. So you give it a good stir, and then you eat it with whatever you want. In my case, it's gonna be some legume left over that I have in the fridge. It's next to me here. I'm warming it up. So that's how it's gonna go down, okay? There we go. Alright. So I'm going to plate that for you so you can see the visual. Alrighty.